From WXII 12 News, this is breaking news.
There are now 14 reported coronavirus cases here in the Piedmont Triad. One person who tested positive is a student at Winston-Salem State University. The university says that person is not a residential student and has not attended an on-campus class in 2 weeks. That student is currently in isolation at a home off campus. WSSU says doctors will have to clear the student before he or she can return to campus. Well, right now there are 8 confirmed coronavirus cases in Forsyth County. The local health department says 7 of those cases are related to travel. They're not yet sure how that 8th person caught the virus. Health department says this case is not attributed to travel or close contact. The other triad cases right now are in Guilford, Davidson, and Alamance counties. Alamance confirmed its first case just a few hours ago. It is unclear how that person came down with COVID-19. There are more than 150 confirmed coronavirus cases throughout the state. The number continues to tick upward every day. Part of the reason is because there are more tests available. The state health director says there have been more than 3,200 tests for coronavirus. She says more than 3,000 of those tests were negative. We also got an update from Burlington-based LabCorp today. They say they now have the ability to process more than 20,000 COVID-19 tests every single day. Cone Health just closed its drive-through testing facility in Greensboro. The chief physician executive says there simply aren't enough supplies, including protective gear for staff, to keep collecting specimens from people's cars and trucks. Cone Health says it could reopen if additional supplies become available. Well, tonight, 2 states are demanding that everyone stay home. The mandatory order is in effect in New York and California. There is nothing in place like that here in North Carolina. However, state leaders say at this point they are preparing for anything.
Right now, we're not issuing a shelter-in-place order or additional closure of businesses. This is an evolving situation, and any changes will be based on what's happening in North Carolina and what's best for public health.
At this point statewide, we have finished the first of 2 weeks of closures of all public schools in North Carolina. Bars and restaurants can only offer takeout or delivery, and the state emergency management director says some National Guard members have been deployed to assist with various needs. He also stressed there is not a food shortage in North Carolina. He says grocery stores will stay open and will restock. He also asked that people only purchase what they need. Right now on WXII12.com, you can find a comprehensive list of local restaurants that are offering delivery and takeout, where school systems are serving meals to boys and girls, which grocery stores are changing their hours to restock, clean, and also make their shopping available for folks in those high-risk categories. At least 4 United States senators, including North Carolina's senior senator Richard Burr, are accused of selling stock ahead of a sharp market decline, all linked to the coronavirus. Now Senator Burr is calling for an investigation into himself. Financial documents show the senator and his wife, who live in Winston-Salem, sold as much as $1.7 million in stock last month. This is raising questions and concerns about whether the senator violated the Stock Act, making trades based on information not readily available to the public. Senator Burr is calling for a Senate ethics investigation into his very transactions. North Carolina's junior U.S. Senator, fellow Republican Thom Tillis, responded to that situation today on Twitter. He says Senator Burr owes North Carolinians an explanation, adding, quote, his referral to the Ethics Committee for their review is appropriate. There needs to be a professional and bipartisan inquiry into this matter, which the Ethics Committee can provide. It's been a disappointing day for college seniors all across the state of North Carolina. Many of them are finding out that graduation is being postponed. The UNC school system is leaving that decision up to its individual schools. At Chapel Hill, May graduation has been postponed. The chancellor is sending a survey to students to try to find an alternate date. At North Carolina A&T State University in Greensboro, commencement is also postponed for spring. Leaders say it'll be rescheduled sometime in the summer. UNCG is canceling all of its spring commencement ceremonies. Spring graduates are going to be invited to walk during the December winter commencement instead. And Winston-Salem State University says it plans to reschedule graduation as well. No date from the Rams yet. Leaders at the UNC School of the Arts say they're going to be holding in-person ceremonies just as soon as it's safe, but for now they plan to host a virtual interactive tribute for all of their seniors. That'll be this May. The Department of Education is making some changes to take a little bit of pressure off of students and graduates paying back student loans. The Education Secretary is suspending federal standardized testing for K-12 students, temporarily waiving interest on student loans, and suspending federal student loan payments for the next 60 days. Schools all across North Carolina will be closed, as we mentioned, for at least one more week. Guilford County schools will start distance learning this Monday. School leaders say they've developed a simple program to help students continue to learn during this uncertainty. Bill O'Neill is in Greensboro now to explain exactly how this new program works.
School administrators say there are a number of hurdles to this online program, and they're asking parents and students to be patient. Step 1, download the Canvas Parent app, available through Android and iOS app stores for free. Step 2, create an account. Step 3, log into the app and begin online classes.
In this video, you will learn how to use the Canvas Parent app.
If students are in need of help navigating through this, they should definitely contact their teachers as their first point of contact.
For now, teachers will collect work and provide feedback, but won't take attendance or grade the work that's produced online.
There's many reasons we can't have formal grading. A big one that stands out is we have several students who receive, thousands of students who receive special education services and modifications that can't all be provided in a digital learning environment.
One of the hurdles to distance learning is to make sure that every student has a device, a phone or tablet, to participate.
We expect to have an update early next week on the rollout of devices from schools to students who may not have them.
A school spokesperson says the Guilford Education Alliance is working with partners to help make sure every student has a device. However, while getting a device clears one hurdle, school administrators say it's not the only issue they're facing.
We have connectivity issues in the rural parts of our county, so even though some students may have devices, they may not have the connectivity that's needed.
Distance learning begins Monday. Download the Canvas app and get ready to go back to class online. In Greensboro, I'm Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.
Thank you, Bill. New tonight, a local college is about to launch virtual tutoring to help younger students who are now forced to do just about everything at home. Wake Forest students will soon be available for weekly sessions on Google Hangout or over the phone. Parents and guardians can fill out an online form with information about the student and the subjects that they're working on right now. They will then be connected to an appropriate college student. More than 100 college students volunteered to tutor within the first 24 hours that this program was created. They all want to be sure that local students at home do not miss out on learning.
We know this can be a really stressful time for parents who are not used to being at home and being the primary teachers for their children, and so we wanted to step in and help and see how can we offer our expertise and also get our students who are having some mixed emotions during the kind of COVID precautions to allow them to continue to serve and just be an asset to folks who need it.
And bravo to all of those who have volunteered. I've posted a link to that online form. You can find it on my Facebook page. Just go to facebook.com and search WXII Kennebec. Well, the coronavirus outbreak is impacting everybody. Schools, businesses, restaurants, sports, hospitals, just a few of the places that look quite a bit different right now. And some of the people who deliver the goods we need are wondering how they'll be impacted. Leanne Denyer has that story tonight now from Greensboro.
We caught up with a local truck driver today. He says that the COVID-19 precautions that are currently in place are impacting his day-to-day work. Everything from how he stops to get a bite to eat, where he uses the restroom, even how he loads and unloads his materials.
This is new to everybody. Everybody's implementing new policies.
Terry Tesh began driving trucks back in 1981. He says he's never seen anything like the changes that have been put in place over the last week to help curb the potential exposure of the COVID-19 virus. He says he understands, but is still concerned about how he'll accomplish basic tasks if these measures amplify. Just this week, and while out of state, he says he struggled to get a meal because of the dine-in ban, coupled with parking restrictions for his truck and an inability to walk through a drive-thru. He had a message for other drivers.
Hang in there, stand on your face, just hang in there, it'll get better. It'll get better. Just don't give up. Just keep getting it. I mean, that's the only thing we can do. That's the only thing we do.
Like many of us, Tesh says he is just monitoring the news, monitoring the situation, and is ready to adjust accordingly as he needs to. In Greensboro, Leanne Denyer, WXII 12 News.
New tonight, the owner of a local transportation company is laying off nearly every single employee. He says coronavirus is absolutely devastating business. The busy season usually begins in March at Black Tie Transportation, but their entire fleet right now is parked in this lot in Winston-Salem. The company is projecting a loss of $2 million for the year because of cancellations and had to lay off 125 people in just the last week. The owner, Gray Hill, spoke with our Brianna Connor via FaceTime. He says transportation workers feel like they are a part of a forgotten industry right now.
We're a $15 billion industry, and we are feeling like we're on the outside looking in. The airlines are getting bailed out. Everyone else, the banks gets bailed out. The mortgage gets bailed out, but not our industry. And we're a big part of the transportation as well.
Black Tie was founded in the Piedmont Triad 30 years ago. Now, Mr. Hill says they're trying to change their business model to offer Wi-Fi equipped motor coaches to school districts or delivery services for things like food and medicine. Well, not every small business is struggling right now because of coronavirus. Believe it or not, the owners of Cupcake Cuties Cafe and Bakery in Wahlberg say business is terrific. Christy Davis says finding eggs for the baked goods is getting increasingly difficult, but they are thankful that their customers keep them going. The dining room is closed. The bakery is trying curbside service now for the first time, and while the owner says things are pretty good presently, they still face an uncertain future, just like so many industries. Still many unknowns when it comes to coronavirus. On a beautiful day like today, one question some people are asking is whether the warmer weather could potentially have an impact. Could it kill off the virus, or could it make it mitigate a little bit like it does with the cold and seasonal flu? The state health director was asked that very question today. Here is the response.
Because this is a novel virus and nobody has that immunity, then it's uncertain as to if the warm weather will have that much of an influence on the circulation. So we are, we'll have to wait and see on that one, but I'm not sure that we can apply what we know in our regularly circulating viruses to this novel virus.